Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Prince George's Community Federal Credit Union 2020 COVID-19 Money Webinar Series. My name is Charmaine Buckner. Today's presentation is brought to you in partnership with Coffee. Coffee is a nationwide financial coaching and education center focusing on improving the financial health of individuals. As the premier credit union of Prince George's County, we have joined with Coffee to expand our mission on providing quality financial education to our community and lending insight into credit management, home ownership, and money management. And now during this pandemic, we're providing this information to help you to navigate your financial situation. Prince George's Community Federal Credit Union is a full-service financial institution serving anyone who lives, works, worships, or attend school in Prince George's County, Maryland. We're one of the county's best-kept secrets with competitive loan and savings rates, as well as discounts to nationwide retailers. We currently serve over 17,000 members in the area, and we welcome you to come and experience the benefits of membership as well. Now, later on in this presentation, we will display our contact information and answer any specific questions you may have concerning your financial needs. It's not too late to invite your friends and colleagues to join today's webinar. You should have received an email about 30 minutes ago. Now, in that email, there's a link that you could pass along for them to register and join the call. Please note that today's webinar is live and all phone lines have been muted. If you have any questions, please feel free to type it into the question box on the right-hand side of your menu bar. Now, all questions are private and will be addressed at the end of our discussion. We're also offering a free 60-minute financial coaching session with the completion of today's webinar, and more information will be given at the end of today's presentation. And lastly, a recording of today's session will be available later on today, and details will be sent to your email following the presentation. And with that, I'm going to turn that over to our presenter for today, Doris Baker. Doris, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Charmaine. How are you?
It's great to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. So let's go ahead and get started. And let's talk about the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act. The FDCPA was enacted to protect consumers from abusive, deceptive, and unfair treatment by debt collectors. The Federal Trade Commission, or FTC for short, monitors and enforces compliance with the FDCPA. The FTC does not intervene in individual disputes. If you are a victim of FDCPA violations, you should file a complaint with your state attorney general or local consumer protection agency. Let's talk about dealing with debt collectors. Written communication works to your advantage because you have a record of everything they say. There are no laws that require you to speak to debt collectors on the telephone. You can also stop them from calling entirely with what's known as a cease and desist letter. You want to get all information in writing. Within 5 days of contacting you, a collector must send you a written notice telling you the amount of money you owe, the name of the creditor, and what action to take if you believe you don't owe the money, according to the FDCPA. Now, before engaging in conversation with a debt collector, ask him or her to send you the information in writing. If you don't believe you owe the money, dispute the debt in writing. If you send the collection agency a letter within 30 days of receiving the written notice stating you do not owe money, a debt collector cannot contact you. Make sure you keep copies of any letters you send as part of a paper trail on your debt. Your response to the collector should always be sent by certified mail. Otherwise, they can deny ever receiving it. You also want to keep records of all phone calls and messages. Write down the day and time of every call. Write down the agency's name, the amount you owe, and a summary of the conversation. If you can get the name of the person you talked to, that's even better. Again, you want to keep a paper trail of everything, and that can be essential if the debt collector ever breaks the law. Keep conversations short and stay focused and calm. Do not let them intimidate you. Don't be afraid to negotiate. Listen, times are tight, and debt collectors are looking for whatever payments they can get. There is a good chance you can work out a deal to pay less than the full amount. Start low, only offering 10 to 15% of what they say you owe. Then you'll probably settle somewhere between 30% and 50%. Be sure to get details of the deal sent to you in writing. Once you get written confirmation of the agreement, you can send your payment. But listen closely to this. Be sure to pay with a cashier's check rather than a personal check. Do not, under any circumstances, provide debt collectors with access to your bank account. Another negotiation strategy is to offer a debt collector a payment for deletion deal. With this, you agree to pay a debt collector the full amount, and the debt collector agrees to remove the collection account from your credit report. The debt collector would contact the credit bureaus directly to remove the debt. Now, according to the Federal Trade Commission and the Boston-based National Consumer Law Center, this practice is not illegal, but it is frowned upon by credit reporting agencies. Many debt collectors may even refuse to do it. If you're lucky enough to get a debt collector to agree to a pay for delete, get it in writing in advance. A payment for deletion deal is one strategy for coping with an accurate bill that was lost or forgotten but is now in collection. Getting a collection account removed from your credit report should give a big boost to your credit rating. Most of all, it's important to know you have rights, and there are times that the debt collectors violate the law. Let's talk about what debt collectors cannot do. Debt collectors cannot call you before 8 a.m. or after 9 p.m. your local time. They cannot call you at work, especially if your employer forbids personal phone calls. They cannot make excessive phone calls to harass you. Debt collectors cannot tell a person other than you, your spouse, or your attorney. Debt collectors cannot threaten to take your property or garnish your wages. Your property or wages cannot be taken without a court order. Debt collectors cannot threaten to use violence or any other illegal means to harm you, your family, your reputation, or your property. They cannot use obscene language in communicating with you. Debt collectors cannot intimidate you with criminal prosecution or imply that you have committed a criminal act. Debt collectors cannot falsely claim to be an attorney, a representative from a credit bureau, or a member of law enforcement. Report abuses to state attorney general and local consumer protection agency and the Federal Trade Commission. The most important thing we can do is educate ourselves. So if you find yourself in a bad situation, be certain to educate yourself on the laws in your state. Garnishment, lawsuits, and property seizure are illegal in some places, which gives you a little more power to work out a deal. To learn what is and isn't allowed, call your state attorney general's office or the state consumer protection office. While most debt collectors abide by the law, you must prepare yourself if you are confronted by a debt collector who ignores the law and is bent on causing you grief. If this happens and a third-party collection agency violates your rights, you can sue for actual damages and punitive damages, as well as attorney fees and court costs. Let's talk about credit union relief programs. So, credit unions, which offer some of the most helpful and most practical solutions to surviving this pandemic financially. We have yet to hear about a credit union that isn't helping their customers and members. The specifics vary by situation, but here are some examples. Credit unions are offering suspended ATM surcharges, suspended foreclosure sales, and vehicle repossessions. They're waiving fees for early CD withdrawals. These benefits are being tweaked and extended as credit unions assess the economic impact of the shutdown. So go to their websites and then make a call. It's important to note that PGC FCU Credit Union is offering a pandemic relief loan, as you can see there on your slide, with a fixed rate of 6.99% APR up to 24 months. They also have a product for a Visa balance transfer card with a 2.99% APR for 6 months, no annual fee, and no fee for the balance transfer. Also, they have a fixed rate loan as low as 8.99% APR and up. All of this is dependent upon your personal credit rating. So that ends my portion of the presentation. I'm going to turn it over to Charmaine to close. And if you have any questions, please feel free to use our chat box. Thank you.
Doris, thank you so much for that great information. You've given us a lot of insight in helping us to navigate some of those more difficult periods, in our financial journey. Again, I'd just like to thank you, everyone. Everyone for attending today's educational webinar. And to learn more about Prince George's Community Federal Credit Union or to speak to a member service representative, please feel free to contact us with the information that's located on the screen there. Again, I'd like to thank Doris one more time again from Coffee for their support. And if you'd like to schedule a free 60-minute financial coaching session with them, please feel free to give them a call at 866-459-5165. Thank you so much for this information again, Doris, and we look forward to all the wonderful calls that we'll get to help people navigate this situation. Thank you again and have a great day. Goodbye.
Thank you.